Good morning, St. Lucia. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm pleased today, of course, that not only that you tuned in, but today I have Mr. Lindell Saintville here with us, who is the president of the ICT Association right here in St. Lucia. So just in case you may not know exactly what the ICT Association is all about, this is what he's here to elaborate on and, of course, enlighten us. So first of all, good morning and thank you for being with us.
Good morning to you, Taylor. Thank you for joining us today.
Perfect.
We're having our annual general meeting of the St. Lucia ICT Association. It's an association formed to represent the interest of people who work within the sector and people with an interest in the sector. So it's not just people who are ICT trained, but people with a general interest. We have been, for the past year, doing quite a bit of work to develop the association to build our capacity. We've had several events which we've held. We've had, for example, in the summer last year, we had the cybersecurity workshop. We had the digital marketing symposium. That was in November, I recall. We've had a slew of other events. We have membership mixers from time to time. This annual general meeting is meant to bring all of our members together, to highlight what we've done, to focus on our growth strategy, look at what we've done successfully, look at what we need to change, and to give the members an opportunity to share with us what their views are, what they would like to see, and maybe give some guidance and inspiration to us how we can further develop our plans.
All right, perfect. Now, with regards to ICT, because there might just be some viewers out there who don't know exactly what ICT stands for, or maybe even what it's all about. So just give us a little overview, like ICT for Dummies. Help us understand better what it's all about or what the field is about as well.
Generally speaking, if you end up using a device like a computer or a tablet, a laptop, even one of those fancy phones or watches these days,
Right.
if you, for a living, develop applications for those, you fix them, you repair them, you connect them together, you set them up, then you're an ICT worker.
Okay.
Yes.
Very interesting.
So I think that's everyone who has bought something with a screen in the last couple of years.
Very good. I was about to say, well, apparently I'm in the ICT field and I didn't even realize that.
Yes,
So.
yes, and we're happy to welcome you into the field.
Great.
But in terms of the people who we represent, for the most part, they are people who make their living out of providing services to the general community. So they, for example, will build web pages, they'll provide consulting services like I do. They will go to business places and devise systems for them to fix things. It's also people who will connect your printer together to your monitors, to set up networks, to set up firewalls. It's quite a range, quite a wide range. It's also people as well who will sell you hardware, printers, scanners, etc.
Perfect. So with the future, of course, of the association, where would you all like to see yourself in the future? And of course, maybe how would you like to help the growth here in St. Lucia?
That's a very interesting question, Chilla. And I believe we have quite a way to go. We've made some progress, but we have a long way to go. We hear from time to time initiatives announced by various regional bodies, even our government from time to time, about things that they plan to do. And there are times we hear of things which have been planned or even announced, which hasn't been widely consulted as far as we are concerned. So we may be hearing about it as advertised on the media or printed, etc. So in terms of improving our advocacy role, we'd like to be more engaged with what's happening in the wider sector, with the community, with the government as well.
Okay.
That way, we could help shape what's happening, add our voice to make things that much better.
All right, perfect. And of course, we know technology is not going to disappear. It's only advancing. So we
So true.
cannot be left in the dark. So thankfully, we have you guys here as well. But just let St. Lucia know, of course, if anybody wants to follow the association, also if people who may be watching now would like to join, how they can go about doing that, and of course, staying in contact with you all.
Chile, it's very easy. Not only do we have a secretariat, which is at the Coalition of Service Industries at Bois-d'Arrôge, we also have a website that people could visit. We could be contacted via that means or via the usual direct face-to-face contact. There we'd find the list of all the current members of the executive and the list of members who are involved with the association. So there are many ways one could get in touch with us.
Good.
And we welcome people doing so. Please
Uh,
do so.
If you didn't say website, I'm going to be like, the ICT Association does not have a website. Now that would be ironic, but
I didn't mention Twitter, Facebook, and so on, but we're going simple. Website, easy peasy.
and if we can just have the address, so of course the rest of St. Lucia can go check it out.
It's ictassociation.lc. That's where you could find us.
All right, perfect.
Or
Well,
on Facebook, ICT Association, LC.
all right, well, perfect. So, St. Lucia, you heard it first. So, now we know exactly what the ICT Association is all about. I hope you have a better understanding of ICT as well. Now that I know, I kind of dabble in it without even knowing. But, of course, technology is something that enhances our lives and, of course, is only advancing. So, you cannot, as I said before, be left in the dark. So, go check out the website for the association and, of course, keep watching us here at DBS. Good morning, St. Lucia. Thank you very much for joining us. Of course, you know you're watching This Morning, and as always, on our pursuit to find you interesting conversations, something engaging, something different. Today, we're not going to be any different, and I'm pleased to be with Miss Francisca Plummer, and our topic of conversation for today, is going to be the effect of technology on our relationships. So this is going to be interesting, so make sure you listen in. Good morning, how are you?
Hi, good morning, Sheila. I'm well, thank you.
And thank you very much for being here with me.
Yes, thank you for inviting me. It's a very interesting topic, one I haven't delved too much into presenting before. So it was also interesting for me preparing and, getting involved and being part of the ICT community for a while.
Great. Now, one thing with technology, whether it's from smartphones, we can look at things like WhatsApp or social media, or even things like video games, in all aspects. Lately, a lot of people can't testify and say that, technology and all these enhancements really sort of, I won't say sever, but it kind of interrupts our connections and our relationships, whether it's with families or friends. Like I have a son who's 7. He loves games, and if I leave him with a game, I won't hear him for the entire day. And if I get stuck on my WhatsApp or other social media, then I'm stuck in it too. So I'm really interested in hearing exactly what you have to say about this.
Well, for me, again, I always want to acknowledge that there are tremendous benefits to use of technology for relationships, and we don't want to overlook that, of course. It brings people from vast places together. It helps us to connect. It's easier, it's quicker. There are so many benefits, but there's also another side. And I think as with life, there must be some balance that, comes with the use of technology. So the technology is there, but we have to make a decision about how we use the technology for our relationships. And of course, technology can interfere, it can hinder, closeness and ties in relationships as well when it becomes a substitute for face-to-face interaction and for being together, which is what really connects people.
It's true. And as you said that too, a lot of people I think right now have this sort of, I'll say social awkwardness even, and even the inability to express or communicate with others, because now you go to an event or you go to, let's just say, a family gathering. And before, where everybody would be socializing and talking, everybody's in their phone, or somebody's on their laptop, or hidden somewhere playing a game. So, you really see the presence now, as much as it can be a good thing. I'd also say there's sort of this dark side to technology.
There is. And, it's interesting for me, as a psychotherapist, I see, yes, ICT is connecting everyone, and we talk about connectedness, and there's social media, and it's very popular. And at the same time, the World Health Organization is increasingly concerned about social isolation and depression. So there is something happening here. We don't want to say that there is a causal relationship, but certainly in a world of connectedness, there's certainly a lack of connection going on, which really engenders a lot of depression and anxiety among people.
It's true. And when you look at people with technology, let's look at the young kids. I'd say when I was younger, you'd run out and climb trees or find things. You find a coconut branch and you do something with it. But now the kids are all indoors. They don't go out and play, so they don't know how to socialize. And then as they grow older now, you realize little personality defects, start to happen as well. So from your perspective as well as a psychotherapist, are there any maybe tips that you can share with St. Lucia to help, find that balance, maybe, whether it's personally or for your family or, by extension, everybody else?
Excellent, good point. Thank you. And one of the tips I'm going to share this evening is about, using technology to transmit and to share more factual based information and to leave the discussion and the relating to personal face to face contact. And I think it's really important that we put our phones away when we are with people. Sometimes we get lost in it. And sometimes when I'm having a function, I actually collect phones because everybody wants the Wi Fi password. I'm like, no, I'm not giving. They always ask, and I think it's to put it away for a while and to make a connection and to really speak to people and to understand where people are at, because just seeing someone and being in touch on Facebook and saying hi on WhatsApp does not tell us how people really feel and where they're at emotionally, socially, and otherwise. So there's still a lot for face-to-face communication, and so it's encouraging that balance again between, yes, technology is an aid rather than a substitute for communication, and we really want to push that message.
All right, perfect. St. Lucia, this discussion, I swear, can go on, but this is just to tease you to get your minds working and, of course, to bring that awareness. And I'm sure we will have to look for a part 2 or some further discussions with you on this. But honestly speaking, make sure you take note of these tips because, of course, ICT technology is something that is here to stay with us, so we can't avoid it. But again, do not make it a substitute for our relationship. So make sure you take note of everything that Ms. Plummer said today because it is very important. So again, we want to wake you up the right way, and this is exactly how we do it. Thank you so much. It is such a pleasure. And of course, the discussion, and there's so much, valid and powerful information in just this little discussion here. So look forward. I definitely think we're going to have you come on and have some more discussions.
Anytime.
All right, St. Lucia. So thank you again for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it as well.